Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Papa Key's Kitchen. This morning I decided I'm going to try to make some peanut brittle, Vermont style peanut brittle with using Vermont maple syrup. First thing I want to do is just go over my ingredients. I am going to use, I don't know, there's about close to half a cup of carob syrup. I've got a cup and a half of peanuts. I got about close to a half a cup of butter. I got a little bit of sugar. There's my maple syrup, and there's almost 2 cups. One of the other things that I need that I don't have over here is a pinch of salt. Now usually this is pretty easy to make. It's just a matter of getting everything up to temperature. Well, we're going to put the salt in here. There. Switch you around here a little bit. So over here I've got a kettle. I was using Teflon kettles, but I find that they don't heat as well as these stainless steel ones do. Maybe I better put my cooking hat on, or else this won't come out. Here we go. It's inside out. I had it in the washing machine. There. That better? Alright. So, I need my little spatula thing over. Oh, another thing I've got is a pan with parchment paper. And I got it smeared in butter so that it'll come off easier when it cools. What was I looking for? Oh, that spatula. Yeah. So we'll dump in the carob syrup. Now the idea of this is to just add the sugars first. And we're going to let that cook until it reaches 280 degrees. And then I'm going to add like my peanuts, salt, and baking soda. And the butter. And try to get it up to 300 degrees. Sticky wicky. I'm going to use one of these ding-a-lings. Got the temperature thing on the back. If you got a candy thermometer, you could use one of those as well. Now the stage you want this at is at that 280 is where it's sheeting across the spoon. You're getting close to that tacky stage. Okay, next is the syrup. Pure Vermont maple syrup. Oh, these ought to be yummy. We'll just have to wait and see. Get all that out. I like how golden syrup is, you know, it's almost a pretty sight to look at. Alright, let's get rid of these dishes so they don't pile up on me too much. Take care of my syrup. Okay, now I need to add the sugar. I didn't use a lot of sugar. Usually you'd use a half a cup or so, but because I'm using maple syrup, it's already loaded with sugar, so. I guess now we need some heat. Put it on high to start with. We'll get this thing a-cooking. I had some of these Price Chopper peanuts. I buy the cheap ones. They work just as good as the most expensive ones. Use whatever you got, I guess. Now what the baking soda does, towards the end of the stage, it causes that foaming reaction that gives it that height in air. But if you want yours thinner, try using like just a 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. If you want it thicker, just keep adding more. But you know, when it gets towards your ready stage, you gotta be moving. Now this is going to take probably a good 10 minutes or so before we get to that stage. So no sense of you standing here looking at my face for that much time. Hell, I don't even have my apron on, do I? Huh. You can tell I just got up not long ago, I guess. Oh well. We haven't had any rain, I don't think, in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. I've been having to water my garden. My cucumbers are all starting to come in, and I pick as I eat, so to speak. If I need an onion, I go out and pick one. If I need a cucumber, I go pick one. If I need a pepper, I go pick one. But when they start getting good and ready, then I have to think about freezing some of them, not the onions, but the peppers. Usually I can get through until January without having to buy any. Cause peppers, you know, if you look at the cost of peppers, they're like $1.50 to $2 a piece now. Okay, so I'll be back when this thing gets a boiling good. See you in a minute. $2.74, we're getting there. Won't be too long. You want that nice sheeting motion. It's not quite there yet, but pretty close. Where it kind of sheets right across. Same way we make sugar on snow. We get it to that right temperature so it's like a sticky candy. It's that temperature. In goes the butter. In goes the salt. And in goes the baking soda. Last but not least, the peanuts. Ooh, that is good. Smells good. Have to remove that off the stove to keep it from burning the bottoms too much. Yeah, it gets very touchy at that stage. You don't want to burn your pan there. They'll clean up, but it takes time. Now what I want to do is just spread this out a little bit so it's thinner. It's already hardening up. I like my pieces thin. If you like thicker pieces, yellow's just the butter that's seeping out of it, but that's normal. There, nice and pretty. Yeah, it's usually pretty simple to make. You see, it's loaded with peanuts, and the thing is, towards the last end of the stage, you got to be careful you don't get burnt, and you got to work fast, because from 280 to 300, it's just a matter of a few seconds. And so we're just going to let this harden up, and then we'll have the break-in ceremony. Yeah, we get to smash it. We'll be back. Well, it's time for our smash party. Beep. Back looks kind of pretty. Well, let me see how we're going to do this. I'm going to maybe try something. Oh, I know what we'll use. We'll use a smash hammer. Now, you know what? Just in case, I'm going to put a paper towel over there so when I clobber it, it doesn't hit me in the eyeball. That might hurt. Uh-oh. You know what that means? I got to spend more money. Darn. Whew. Yeah. I like small pieces like that. Oh, that's going to be so yummy in the tummy, huh? None of it will go to waste, even the smallest pieces. Oh yeah. Oop, we'll break this one again. And that one. And that one. Now you can leave these out in a cool place. Don't put them over your register or anything. While this was cooling off, I managed to get all them damn dishes done. Just try a little taste here. Boy, that maple really comes through. Oh, these are to die for. Thank you, Mom, for teaching me this. I much appreciate it. See, I told you I pay attention. You didn't believe me. Yep. And it didn't take me 20 years to get through grade school. Close, but I had to stay back 1 year. That was, I think I was around 7 or 8. I was supposed to go into the 3rd grade. But when I was milking cows down at the barn, I used to rub my head up against the cow when I was milking. Just naturally, that's where it fell. This particular cow had what they call ringworm. It's a round circle about that big. Well, wouldn't you know it, in the side of my head I ended up with that ringworm. Of course, my father had to pull my hair out with tweezers. He gave me a ½ cent for each clump he pulled, just because I was screaming so much. Then they wrapped me up and sent me to school. So I got a call into Mr. Barker's office. Of course, keep in mind this was back in the 50s, you know, things were a little different back then. He said, "Son, you can't wear that on your head to school." I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" It's a bandage. My mother put it on there because I caught ringworm. He said, "Yes, but you can't wear that." I said, "What's wrong with it?" He said, "Well, that's a woman's sanitary napkin." I shrugged my shoulders and I don't know what that is. Well, they sent me home and wouldn't let me come back. I ended up not healing for 6 months. So I missed a lot of that class, so they made me take it all over again. I used to tell everybody they kept me back to teach some of them dumber kids how to get through the class all right, but I don't know if they went for it. Well, anyway, I got a whole box of peanut brittle, maple peanut brittle, and I might partake in a few pieces of that during the week. So I say, simple recipe, but just remember when you're running those temperatures, it's hot, very hot. And when you hit 280, you better be ready to move. You know, to add your baking soda, your butter, your last ingredients I told you about. And stir it all in and then pour it. Now, don't want to wait too long because the bottom of that pan is going to burn right up. That's about all there is to it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and be sure to come along for our next adventure. I don't know when it will be, but when I get a hankering for something, I sure will bring you along. Papa Keith saying, see you later.